I saw her on all fours, moaning into the mattress with her face turned just enough for me to recognize the curve of her lips and the pleasure in her eyes. Her back arched, her body shaking, her mouth open, and not once did she say my name. She was naked, flushed, and filled by my best friend. And the camera caught every single frame of it. My fingers went numb. The tiny velvet box I had just picked up from the jeweler slipped from my hand and hit the floor. Neither of them stopped. Not even when they saw me standing there in the doorway. She looked back at me with wild, sweaty hair stuck to her cheek and her pupils wide. She did not scream. She did not move. She just let it happen. And I watched them finish. I watched the woman I was about to propose to melt under another man's touch, the man who once called me his sister. Before I unravel this whole mess, let me first say thank you. Thank you to every one of you who has been following this channel, sharing your support, and dropping your thoughts in the comments. You are the reason I keep telling these stories. If you are new here, or still on the fence about subscribing, I see you, too. And I cannot wait for you to hit that button. Your support is the fuel that powers everything I share. Make sure to leave your thoughts down below. I am ready to hear it all. Now, back to the night that changed everything. My name is Harper Lane. I am 32 years old, born in Atlanta, raised on dreams and discipline, and currently running a successful interior design business that took a full decade of sweat and grit to build. I have always been a romantic. The hopeless kind. The one who believes in love letters, shared playlists, and late-night forehead kisses. But I never saw this coming. Not in a million years. Kylie was 28, with soft golden hair that fell in waves down her back and dimples that could make strangers smile. She was a yoga instructor. Flexible, fluid, mysterious. We met 2 years ago at a juice bar in Midtown. I spilled beetroot smoothie all over her leggings, and instead of cursing me out, she laughed. "Guess you just painted me on purpose," she said. From that moment, I was hooked. She moved in 6 months later. We decorated the apartment together, soft whites, matte blacks, greenery in every corner. We were building something, or so I thought. She said she had never loved a woman like she loved me. She said she had never felt safer. She said all the right things while doing all the wrong ones behind my back. Then there was Drew. My childhood best friend. My ride or die since 2nd grade. We played video games together, stole liquor from our parents together, even went to prom together when neither of us had a date. He was family. He was the one constant in my chaotic life. Until that night. I picked up the engagement ring around 4:30 p.m. A simple but elegant white gold band with a pear-cut diamond. Kylie always said she hated flashy things. I had it custom-made with a tiny engraving on the inside, "Forever, even when we bend." I had it all planned out. Rose petals on the stairs. Her favorite candles in the living room. Dinner ordered from that Ethiopian spot she loved. And when the time was right, I would kneel down and tell her that the only home I ever truly wanted was her. I opened the door with a smile on my face and the ring box still warm in my coat pocket. The apartment smelled like vanilla and sweat. At first, I thought maybe she had lit candles early. Then I heard something strange, deep breathing, the faint slap of skin on skin, a voice groaning her name. I thought she was watching porn. Until I heard his voice. Drew. I froze. I walked toward the bedroom, heart pounding in my chest like a war drum. The door was cracked just enough to see inside. And what I saw burned itself into my brain in a way I will never be able to erase. Kylie on the bed. Face down, body stretched and glistening with sweat. Drew behind her. Both of them fully naked, both of them fully into it. There was a camera on a tripod. A red light blinking. They were filming. I watched for longer than I should have. Not because I was curious. Not because I was frozen. But because something in me wanted to see just how far they would go, and how little shame they had. I opened the door wider. Neither of them stopped. My voice was gone. I could not scream, I could not cry. I just stood there while the woman I planned to propose to got pounded by the man who had once sworn to protect me. He pulled out eventually. She turned over slowly, breathing heavy, and finally noticed me like I was some fly buzzing on the wall. She did not flinch. She did not apologize. She just said, "Harper, you were not supposed to be home yet." Like I ruined her scene. Like I walked into their moment. I walked out without saying a word. I went downstairs and sat in the car. The ring box was still in my pocket. I pulled it out, stared at it, then threw it across the dashboard like it was diseased. Later that night, she came downstairs, dressed in one of my t-shirts. She had that same fake calm she always used when she knew she was caught but thought she could manipulate her way through it. "Are you okay?" she asked. I looked at her. I looked through her. "You were screwing him. You let him record it. And you are asking me if I am okay?" She shifted her weight from one leg to the other. "You were never supposed to find out." That was the moment my heart broke. Not when I saw her with him. Not when I heard her moan for him. But right there. When she looked me in the face and treated my devastation like an inconvenience. I left. I stayed at my sister's place that night. I did not sleep. I just stared at the ceiling, played every scene back in my mind, and tried to understand how the two people closest to me could get me like that. But here is where it gets dark. I went back. I walked back into that apartment 3 days later. Kylie was still there, quiet, waiting. I did not yell. I did not pack her things. I stayed. Why? Because I needed answers. And because something inside me, something twisted and bitter, refused to let her walk away without explaining every dirty, disgusting detail. I wanted to know when it started. Why it happened. And most of all, how many other secrets she was still keeping from me. This is not a story about forgiveness. This is a story about truth, and what it does to a person when the people they love take it away. She thought the worst was over. But the truth? The worst was just beginning. I woke up the next morning and thought I heard her again. Not in bed. Not in the hallway. But in my head. The sound of her moaning for him. The rhythm of her breath. The slap of his hips against her skin. It was all still there, looping behind my eyelids like it had been etched into my memory against my will. I had not touched her in weeks before that night. I kept blaming her stress, her late-night yoga classes, her cold showers. I thought it was a rough patch. But now I knew the truth. She was just saving her body for someone else. For him. I rolled over and stared at the ceiling. My chest felt tight, like something invisible was sitting on it. I had come back to the apartment the night after it happened. Not because I forgave her. But because I needed answers. Real ones. I needed to hear her say it. I needed her to admit every single sick detail. I needed it like I needed oxygen. Kylie acted like nothing had happened. She wore my shirts. Made breakfast like she used to. Sat next to me on the couch with her legs curled beneath her. And every time she touched me, brushed my arm, kissed my cheek, it made my skin crawl. That morning, she poured coffee into my favorite mug. The one that said, "You're my favorite home." I almost threw it at the wall. "I made eggs," she said, cheerful like a TV mom. I stared at her. "How long were you sleeping with him?" She blinked. "You are just going to jump into it?" "No. I already jumped." "You pushed." She set the mug down. Her hands trembled just a little. That gave me the smallest satisfaction. 3 months, she said. I nodded slowly, jaw clenched. Did it start before or after we started talking about marriage? She looked down at the counter. Before. A white flash of rage shot through me. I had picked out the ring while she was still filming porn with my best friend. You are disgusting, I whispered. You let me plan a proposal while you let him inside you. She sighed. It was not just about sex. That made it worse. Much worse. I left the apartment that afternoon. I drove around aimlessly, no music, no destination. Just silence and the sound of my own fury boiling underneath the surface. I parked outside Drew's condo in Midtown. I did not tell him I was coming. I walked straight up the stairs and knocked. When he opened the door, he looked like hell, shirtless, unshaven, bags under his eyes. For a second, I thought maybe he felt guilty. Then he opened his mouth. I figured you would come. Figured wrong, I said. I should have come with a baseball bat. He let me in anyway. The place smelled like tequila and sweat. The blinds were shut. The TV was frozen on a paused video game screen. He sat down on the edge of his couch, elbows on his knees, looking up at me like a kid caught cheating on a test. I am sorry, he said. I know that means nothing. But I am sorry. I folded my arms. When did it start? He rubbed his face. That night you got food poisoning. Remember? She stayed here because you were in the hospital overnight. We were drinking. She was upset. I was stupid. She was upset? I repeated, voice rising. So you comforted her with your dick? He looked away. She said you were emotionally distant. That you were controlling. That you shut her out. I wanted to punch him. She lied, I said. And you believed her because you wanted to. He nodded. Yeah. I guess I did. I paced the room. My hands were shaking. My stomach turned. Then he said something that stopped me cold. She told me you were not the only one she was with. I froze. What? He nodded. She told me you knew about the videos. That you were into it. That you watched some of them together. I stared at him, stunned. Do I look like I watch my girlfriend get fucked by other men for fun? No, he admitted. But she said it like it was normal. She lied again, I said. And you just let her. He looked guilty. But not enough. I turned to leave. He grabbed my arm. She is not who you think she is, Harper. I yanked away from him. Neither are you. I spent the next 2 days in silence. I barely spoke to Kylie. We passed each other in the hallway like ghosts. But late one night, she came into the bedroom where I was curled up, scrolling through my phone, trying to forget the sound of her voice while she was with him. She climbed into bed beside me like she still belonged there. I miss us, she whispered. I did not respond. I hate what I did. Still nothing. I love you. That broke me. I sat up. Do you even know what that word means? She looked wounded. Like I had hurt her. You think love is attention. You think love is being worshipped. But love is sacrifice. It is loyalty. And you threw that away for a video and a thrill. She bit her lip. It was not like that. Then explain it, I said. Make it make sense. She stared at me, blinking back tears. Because you never let me feel wanted. You are always in control. You never begged for me. I laughed. Bitter. Hollow. So you needed him to remind you you were wanted? She nodded. I leaned close. Well, now you got it. A camera full of proof. She climbed out of bed and walked out without another word. But something kept bothering me. That camera. That red light. Why was it set up? Why was she so calm when I walked in? It was like she wanted me to see it. And then it hit me. She did want me to see it. The next morning, I did something I had not done in years. I checked her phone. She had changed her passcode. That was all the confirmation I needed. I watched her sleep in my bed. Peaceful. Satisfied. Unbothered. She did not know I was about to rip everything apart. I did not just want the truth anymore. I wanted justice. I wanted revenge. The first message hit my phone on a Thursday morning. "Hey, is this you in the video?" My stomach dropped. I had not clicked anything. Not yet. But my hands shook as I typed back. "What video?" 2 minutes later, I got the link. The title was disgusting. The thumbnail made me sick. Yoga slut takes it raw from best friend's man, hidden camera. And there it was. Her moaning. Him behind her. My bedroom. My sheets. My candles still flickering in the background. The footage from that night, the night I walked in, the night she looked me in the eye and kept going, was now online for the world to see. Posted. Shared. Downloaded. Viewed. Thousands of times. I opened the video in horror. I should have stopped it. But I watched. I watched how she smiled at the camera. How he called her dirty names. How she begged for more. And I heard something I had missed before. Right before it ended, right before the final thrust, she said, "She is going to see this. Let her." She wanted it to be found. She wanted me to suffer. I snapped. I was not just heartbroken anymore. I was humiliated. She made me the fool. Not just in private. But online. In front of strangers, clients, friends. My phone blew up. DMs, missed calls. Screenshots. One of my clients canceled a project, saying, "We prefer to work with professionals who stay out of drama." That was the last straw. I was done being quiet. I knew where she kept the backups. Kylie was a creature of habit. She always saved things to her hidden drive, labeled under boring folder names like class schedules or yoga retreat. I cracked her laptop open one night when she went out for groceries. Found the files within minutes. There were 7 videos. Different men. Different locations. Some filmed in our home. Some in Drew's place. One in a hotel room, a luxury suite I had rented for her birthday weekend the year before. She had told me the spa double-booked our slot, so she went alone. She lied. She had been there. Just not alone. I copied everything onto a flash drive. Then I recorded something of my own. I sat on the edge of our bed, phone propped up on a tripod. No filters. No makeup. Just me. I looked straight into the camera and said everything. Her name is Kylie. She is 28 years old. And for 2 years, she was my girlfriend. My world. My person. While I was planning to propose, she was filming porn with my best friend. She said she loved me. But this is what love looked like to her. I told it all. Every lie. Every betrayal. I even showed the ring box. Still unopened. Still untouched. Then I dropped the flash drive into the frame and said, "Here is your queen. Uncut." And I ended the video there. I uploaded it anonymously. But I knew it would not stay anonymous for long. People love a twist. A love story that ends in revenge. A beautiful woman exposed for the snake she really is. The video exploded. Kylie found out within hours. She stormed into the apartment, face red, eyes wild. "You ruined my life," she screamed. I stood calmly in the kitchen, sipping tea. "No," I said. "You ruined mine. I just returned the favor." She tried to grab the flash drive off the counter. I let her. It was a copy. Then she tried to slap me. I caught her wrist midair. "You do not get to play victim. Not after you filmed your betrayal and laughed when I walked in." She crumbled onto the floor, sobbing. It was never supposed to go this far. I crouched down beside her. You wanted attention. Now you have it. Drew called me later that night. I did not answer. He left a voicemail. I played it once. I did not know she posted it, Harper. I swear to God, I did not know. I thought it was just for us. I was stupid. I am sorry. I deleted it. Then I blocked his number. In the weeks that followed, everything changed. People talked. Some judged. Some supported. Some just watched it all unfold like a car crash they could not look away from. I left the apartment. I moved into a smaller place near Grant Park. It was quiet, filled with sunlight, and more importantly, it was mine. Kylie tried to reach out. Begged. Apologized. Even sent me a video of her crying, saying she was sick in the head and did not know why she kept chasing pain. I did not care. Pain had turned me into something harder, something wiser, something I should have been all along, selfish in the right ways. One night, I found the ring box again. It was still at the bottom of my bag, crushed under receipts and old gum wrappers. I took it out. Opened it. Looked at the diamond. And smiled. Because I had not just dodged a bullet. I had survived a sniper. Now, when people ask me about love, I tell them this. Sometimes, the person who holds your hand the tightest is also the one holding the knife behind your back. And sometimes, that heartbreak you thought would kill you becomes the fire that saves you.